Jean-Baptiste Joseph Dieudonné Boussingault, the 2nd of February 1801 to the 11th of May 1887, was a French chemist who made significant contributions to agricultural science, petroleum science and metallurgy. First agricultural experiment station. Boussingault established the first agricultural experiment station on his wife's property in Pechelbronn in Alsace, France, some 60 kilometers north of Strasbourg, France in 1836. Rothamsted in the UK, generally considered the longest continuous experimental station, was started some 7 years later in 1843, and the German equivalent in Moeckern in 1852. As he was a chemist, which was at that time a rapidly expanding field, and as the application of such science to agriculture was overdue, it is logical that many of Boussingault's contributions from his work related to soil chemical and plant nutritional knowledge. His experimental station did not survive him, or rather could not withstand the vacillations of the 1870 Franco-Prussian War despite some revealing respect for intellectual works in World War II anecdotes, but his discoveries were built on by others, including his better-known contemporary, Liebig, who loudly acknowledged Boussingault as the pioneer and great discoverer of many advances in soil and plant chemistry. The site of the world's first agricultural experimental station, is today a grand Alsatian grange and outbuilding complex in northeastern France in urgent need of restoration. See photo. As of April 2011, an explanatory panel explaining his work has been erected. See photo, correcting some earlier misunderstanding that his experimental work was conducted at another site in the town of Pechelbronn where he maintained a house. The confusion is understandable as the history of the area is dominated by the petroleum technologies developed in that industry, and to which Boussingault contributed as part of his employment in the region. The shadow cast over his work by this more popular subject has led to
his status being neglected beyond a cadre of informed scientists and scientific historians. Boussingault reintroduced the quantitative methods first employed by de Saussure and is credited with the following discoveries related to agriculture. The first analysis of crops grown in a rotation. The increase in soil nitrogen following the growth of legume crops. The theory, later confirmed by Perses, that the carbohydrate fraction of a food ration is metabolized to fat in herbivores. Plant growth is proportional to the amount of available assimilatory nitrogen, which in practical terms allows greater plant growth from the simultaneous application of phosphorus and nitrogen. Definition of the photosynthetic quotient. Sometimes scientists are more remembered for their less significant discoveries. Most popular literature lists Boussingault as a contributor to the petroleum development of Alsace, and as being one of the few outsiders who married into the industrialist Lebel family to be accepted by them in the long term. The mineral boussingaultite is named after him. Boussingault's most important work was his contribution to agricultural chemistry. His works and experiments contributed to an understanding of the critical role of nitrogen in plant growth and ecological systems. This understanding made possible further developments in nitrogen harnessing and fertilization. Unforeseeable in Boussingault's day. These developments, such as the Haber-Bosch process, eventually resulted in nitrogen fertilizers and related products. Nitrogen fertilizers are a critical component of the modern agricultural industry, and have prevented major food shortages up to the present day. Boussingault left several volumes of memoirs, which range in subject matter from his very diverse scientific inquiries to his more colorful personal adventures, notably with Bolivar and others in South America.